So, here's the terrifying thought. You can run a 10K, you can feel absolutely fantastic, have zero symptoms, and all the while a catastrophic blockage could be silently growing inside your heart. How is that even possible? Well, in this explainer, we're going to uncover exactly why the healthy heart fails, how your body is so good at hiding these ticking time bombs, and the only way to actually see what's going on before it's too late.
Okay, let's just dive right into the central mystery here. I mean, think about it. How can a major fuel line to your heart be 90% blocked and you feel nothing? It seems impossible, right? But your body is so incredibly good at adapting that it can completely mask a life-threatening problem. It keeps that blood flowing perfectly, right up until the very second it stops.
And this isn't some rare fluke we're talking about. For a staggering 50% of all men, the very first symptom of heart disease isn't chest pain or shortness of breath. No, it's sudden death. They feel fine one moment, and they're gone the next. And that right there is why we have to understand this. So to solve this mystery, we've got to look inside. The clues aren't on the surface, they're hidden deep inside the heart's own fuel lines, the coronary arteries. You can think of them as the root system for the most important muscle in your entire body.
You see, your heart is literally wrapped in these arteries. And the most important one, the big one, is called the left anterior descending artery, or LAD for short. Now, in the emergency room, we have a pretty grim nickname for this one. We call it the Widowmaker. And why? It's just simple geometry. It supplies blood to the heart's main pumping chamber. So if you block a tiny little branch, you might lose a leaf. But if you block this main trunk, the whole tree falls.
Now, this right here, this slide, it completely debunks the biggest misconception about heart attacks. We all have this image in our heads of plaque building up like gunk in a drain pipe, right? Slowly narrowing the pipe. And we assume we'd feel it getting worse. But that's just not how it works. It's biologically incorrect. In reality, as plaque forms, the artery wall actually stretches outward to make room for it. It's a process called positive remodeling. So the opening for blood, it stays wide open. You get normal blood flow, and you feel absolutely zero symptoms.
So how does this plaque even get started? Well, it all begins with a tiny microscopic tear. Things like high blood pressure act like sandpaper on the smooth, delicate inner lining of your artery. Your body, trying to help, rushes to fix it. And it uses LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol like spackle, to patch up the hole. Then, the immune system shows up to inspect the repair job, which causes inflammation and swelling. And over time, this whole messy mixture of cholesterol, cells, and calcium hardens into plaque.
Okay, so the plaque is there, but it's silent. It's not causing any problems yet. So what flips the switch? Let's look at the two main ways this silent threat can suddenly become a fatal event.
All right, the first scenario involves something called soft plaque. I want you to imagine that plaque deposit not as a hard rock, but as a tiny inflamed blister on the inside of your artery wall. It's unstable, and a sudden spike in blood pressure, maybe from extreme exertion or even intense stress, can cause that blister to pop, to tear open. This is called a plaque rupture. And this, right here, is the real killer. When that plaque ruptures, your body panics. It thinks there's a massive wound, so it does what it's supposed to do. It forms a huge blood clot to seal it. The problem is, in a matter of minutes, that clot can grow so large that it completely blocks the artery. So listen to this is the crucial point. The years of plaque buildup didn't stop the blood flow. The clot that formed in 2 minutes did.
But there's another way this can go wrong, a scenario that, believe it or not, often affects fit endurance athletes. This is the type 2 heart attack. And it's not about a rupture, it's about a simple, brutal mismatch between supply and demand. You know, take the case of a guy named Robert, a 50-year-old runner with a 50% blockage he had no idea about.
Now, when Robert is just sitting on the couch, that 50% blockage, it's no big deal. But when he's out running a race, his heart is screaming for a fire hose worth of oxygenated blood. But his partially blocked artery, it can only deliver a garden hose worth. The demand just completely overwhelms the supply, and the heart muscle starts to suffocate and die.
So if you can't feel it, how on earth are you supposed to find it? Well, the good news is we now have these incredible forensic tools that can actually look inside the arteries and find the fire before the whole house burns down.
So the first tool is called a CAC score. It's a super quick 5-minute CAT scan that specifically looks for and measures hardened, calcified plaque. Now, this isn't the dangerous soft plaque that ruptures, but it's a direct measurement of your history with this disease. It tells you exactly how much junk is built up in your arteries over your lifetime.
And interpreting it is really simple. A score of 0 is perfect.
It means no detectable calcified plaque. Awesome. As that number goes up, so does your risk. A score over 400 is considered very high risk. It's a clear signal from your body that something needs to be done, right now.
But what about the really dangerous stuff, the soft plaque? For that, you need a more advanced scan called a CT angiogram, or CTA. This scan gives us this beautiful, detailed 3D map of the arteries. And crucially, it can see the soft, non-calcified plaque. It finds those invisible blisters that are the most likely to rupture.
Honestly, this is the ultimate early warning system. If a CAT score shows you the past, a CTA shows you the present danger. It finds that unstable plaque that could trigger a type 1 heart attack, giving you a chance to act before disaster strikes.
So, okay, we get the science, and we know about the tools we can use to find it. Now for the most important part. What can you actually do to take control of your heart health?
Here's your plan. First, get your blood pressure under control. That stops those little tears from even starting. Next, manage your blood sugar to keep inflammation in check. Keep moving, keep exercising, because this encourages your bodies to grow its own natural bypasses, tiny little arteries that can literally save you if a main one gets blocked. And know the symptoms, which can be very, very different for women than for men. And finally, and this is the most crucial point, don't guess. Don't just assume that feeling good means you are healthy. Use the technology we have and get the right scan.
You know, the healthy heart attack is almost always a tragedy of ignorance. We just don't know what we don't know. So if this explainer helped clear things up for you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the science that affects all of us.
And I'm going to leave you with this final thought. You can feel your fitness. You can feel your muscles getting stronger day by day. But you cannot feel plaque growing in your arteries. So the only question left is, are you ready to look deeper?